Good morning, good morning, good morning. What is up, folks? Happy Thursday to you. JTW here with another Xtrades FOMO live stream. Hope everybody is doing well this morning. Um, gonna go through our usual routine here. Oh, well, before I do that, I got a little bit ahead of myself on, I think it was Tuesday's stream, and my good friend, Navy Plum, correctly called me on it. All right, let's make sure my screen is live as well as my YouTube and all that good stuff. Man, I've got to like tie a string around my finger or write myself a sticky note and staple it to my chest. I keep getting these warnings about my bit rate is too higher than the is higher than the recommended bit rate, I should say, for YouTube. So um, I'll get that figured out one of these days. So anyway, we will go through our usual routine this morning. We're going to take a look at what the markets are doing overall. Then we'll take a look at our trade plan recaps. We've got a few member selected tickers in the works. We've also got a couple of trade plans in the works on in the background from Tuesday's live stream. So with that being said, let's dig in. Let's start taking a look at our charts and see what we're seeing. If you guys have any ticker requests, please feel free to go ahead and start dropping those in the chats, whether that be in Discord or on the YouTube side of things. Go ahead, drop those tickers in the mix, and we will try to get through as many of those as we possibly can this morning. All right, so ES, kind of still clinging on for dear life to our key level, right? We've talked about this we've probably been talking about this level, I know, since last week, if not maybe even prior to that. We've been watching this level. We've been heading down toward it. This is key support here at 55.61. We keep getting little liquidity sweeps below or these really nice bounces right off that level. This was kind of an interesting, this one couple of candles closed actually looked like it was maybe getting ready to break down on this move right here on Tuesday. Didn't follow through, interestingly enough, so I'll take a further look at that. I'm sure if we just go out to like the 4 hour, yeah, it's even closing below on the 4 hour. Actually, I hadn't looked at that yet. Um, Kind of surprised. Docking station. A disconnected, reconnecting. Hang on a sec. OBS is doing some weirdness. Okay, there we go. Looks like YouTube's back. Sorry about that, folks. My am I live on the right? Yeah, okay. Sorry. Just some things are looking sort of weird right now. So anyway, the I'm surprised that this liquidity sweep didn't kind of result in a bigger, more sustained move to the upside. I mean, that's certainly what a lot of this is looking like. Then again, it may have just been setting up this bull trap. I don't know. Again, markets are in expert mode right now. Definitely a much better scenario to be trading, day trading, and scalping, and focusing on quick entries and quick exits versus getting into anything that you're holding long term. Unless you're getting kind of perfect entries on some of these moves. Ultimately, if you look at the price action, it's moving sideways and it's consolidating. So the more that you wait and hold, the more theta is just going to burn out of your contracts and make it harder for them to ever recover. And it will also hurt them a lot more if the move doesn't ultimately shift into your favor here in the very near future. What's up, San Andreas? Good morning to you. What's up, K Money? Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you guys as well. Again, my apologies for the weird little technical glitch we had a moment ago. Hopefully, it looks like everything's back up and running from what I can tell. But if for some reason y'all aren't seeing or hearing me just right, let me know. All right, so anyway, 55.61.50 on ES, still a key level, still on watch. We have seen some fake outs below it. If you want to give yourself a little bit more room for confirmation, you can certainly look at where some of these liquidity sweeps bottomed out and wait for those levels to break. But I'd say I'm still watching for 55.61. I'm sure if we get, about to hopefully not prove myself wrong. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure if we get a close below that on the daily, that's going to definitely look like a good breakdown and like it's going to keep continuing lower. Really struggling to reclaim the 333 SMA here on the daily. I didn't even realize we had lost that and we're below it and rejecting. So Market is looking extremely slippery, looking like a big bear flag possibly forming to the downside here on the daily. So anyway, just keep your heads on a swivel. I'm still kind of, leaning more toward it's still a short the rip market, at least for right now. Obviously, we have to be fluid and change as that happens. Okay, my stream's still going. Good. Sorry, for a second there, it looked like it wasn't. Um, so with that being said, let's get into some trade plan recaps, and then let's talk about some new trade plans. NVIDIA we had from the member selected tickers over the weekend definitely gave us what looked like to be a good confirmed break to the downside there on Tuesday, but just didn't continue any lower. Neptune had flipped at that point on the 15-minute, but very kind of a mixed look with these SMAs just overhead and Neptune providing support down there just below. But ultimately, it did push higher, did run up and catch call PT1, came for the back test, caught PT1 again there yesterday for calls, and seems to be kind of consolidating above the call entry here. So NVIDIA kind of looking good in a rough looking market right now. Be interesting to see if it can continue these moves. But overall, the market's looking pretty heavy and like it wants to pull back a little bit further, in my opinion. Tesla, this one has, did, I should say, ultimately break down below our put entry. I don't know why this is supposed to extend back further. There we go. I don't know why it wasn't doing that. Did ultimately give us the breakdown, all of our price targets, and then some on Monday. It has slowly but surely climbed back out of that. Did catch this put stop loss average down for a nice rejection play yesterday. Has finally gotten back up over the 333. You can see it really struggled with that for a little bit there going into the close, but now we're struggling with it again here this morning pre-market. So keep an eye on Tesla. It is on the put side of the trade plan. It is showing, I would say, some relative weakness, especially if you compare it to NVIDIA. NVIDIA a little bit of a pullback, but it's kind of already reclaimed that. Tesla's made that pullback, but still down here below and still struggling to fill this gap back to the upside. Still below the 333. So Tesla looking a little bit bearish going into the market this morning. And then PLTR was also from our member selected tickers. This one did give us a breakdown on Monday all the way to PT1 and has not broken back to the upside yet. Really struggling with this 200 SMA here going into the close yesterday and pre-market. Pretty decent little rejection off of that there. Stop loss average down from the plan holding as the pre-market low so far. So keep an eye on PLTR. I think if it can give us another good break of the call entry, it could actually make a decent push to the upside. So keep an eye on PLTR. All right, Uber we did on Tuesday's live stream. This one's given us a couple of breaks to the downside, but has not yet hit any of our price targets. Also hasn't stopped us out yet. So Uber's kind of leaning bearish. SMAs, Neptune catching up, adding some pressure, now giving us a nice confluence there overhead at the stop loss average down for the put side of this trade plan. So keep your eyes on Uber. This one does look like it might want to break down. Interesting double bottom. I think if it breaks that double bottom, we could see some of these price targets rapidly play out. But interesting double bottom there right around 69.55, 69.60, we'll call it. So Uber doing its thing, moving sideways, but ultimately leaning bearish. MicroStrategy we did on Tuesday, right? There's one that I think I did on Tuesday's live stream that I didn't lock into my indicator set, so that's on me. That's my bad. MSTR, I'm pretty sure we did on Tuesday's live stream, though. This one did come down, tested our put entry, and bounced nicely off of that. Came all the way up for PT1 plus. Gave a little back test of what I would consider a buy range after we've broken into that upside, which is the range between the call entry and call stop loss. Came back into that buy range, bounced out of it, caught PT1 for calls there, and seems to be in a little bit of turbulence right here, so could continue sideways a little bit. Oh yeah, thank you, Navy Plum. I appreciate that. I might have to go, if I didn't lock it in, I might have to go look up what our levels were and stuff too, so bear with me on that. If you don't mind. But MSTR, again, overall upside playing out, looks very turbulent, like I said, up in this range. So if you're playing bullish on MSTR, I would definitely, be quick to lock in profits, especially if we get another test anywhere up in this 270.53 range. Lots of confluence building up there. 333 Neptune bear flag. This rejection, I'm sure there's probably a level there. I've got my drawings hidden. Yeah, there is a level there, right there too. So it looks like it was actually a previous all-time high, 270.03. So yeah, watch that for a key break. I mean, if MSTR can break out above that, probably make some big moves. But that, at least the way it sits right now, is looking like a really good rejection setup. So keep your eyes on that on MSTR. Let me go check what we did for Lockheed real quick. Bear with me. I post those in the elite chat. JT. That should get me there a little quicker. I think I did save this one, but I can punch it up real quick. Got the levels right here. Yeah, I did not. I don't guess that would be in this 5 slot. Yeah, I forgot to save it. That's my bad. It's all right. We'll fix it real quick and then we'll talk about it. So our entry on Lockheed was 493.87, 505.06, 509.58, and 515.07. 485.23, 477.04, 467.54, 459.41, and 448.66. Shared stop loss at 485.23. There we go. So this is what our Lockheed plan looked like. There we go. All right, so this one has played out to the down. I was gonna say I know I've seen downside alerts on it. Did run right up to our call entry. Oh no, sorry, we hadn't done the plan yet. There, my bad. I need to start marking these two, or like where we put these plans in place on the chart now that this uh trade plan navigator, I call my version pilot, is it doesn't, there's not really a good way that I can think of to kind of lock it into where we actually put the trade plan in place. So I'll have to start dropping like a vertical bar on the chart or something like that, showing where we do these trade plans. So anyway, I'll figure something out for that. As we roll out these new features and all that stuff, you just have to tweak and make adjustments as time goes on. Why is that? What else? Let's do that. Nice white line, bright white line. There we go. We can see when we did this trade plan very easily now. Okay, cool. So we did this trade plan Tuesday pre-market. It did break down, got us to PT1 there, consolidated above PT1 as support, broke down to PT2. I mean, this is exactly how we would expect these trade plans play out, right? Nice drop, catch our level, drop, catch our level. Maybe we'll see another drop, catches our third level this morning. But this one's literally, I mean, we say take the stairs up and take the elevator down. This one's like perfectly taking the stairs down as far as our trade plan levels go. But that's, that's good stuff. That's what we expect to see. That's what we want to see. All right. So with that being said, let's get to some new trade plan requests here this morning. Let's close that. I don't need that anymore. Let me get back over to the chats now that I've gotten everything I need from that Lockheed plan. All right, if you have time, could you give advice where Tesla long calls are a good buy? Why? I guess would be my question. The market is very bearish right now, and I would say Tesla's looking weak in a bearish market. I would not necessarily be rushing it. They have a lot of, I think, negative catalysts working against Tesla right now. So I would not be in a rush to be loading Tesla. Just my personal take. But if you want an opinion on where I would go long, I mean, yeah, it looks like we kind of already tested it or almost tested it. Would probably be, yeah, you could actually take it a little bit lower. So how I would plan that, and I mean, again, with how bearish things look, I have to be getting essentially like a really, really great deal and be patient for that to come to fruition, to even have any interest in touching Tesla right now or anytime in the near future for that matter. let's do this actually on a different chart just so it's a little less chaotic when we're zoomed out like this. I know this right now looks insane to you all, and it looks insane to me as well, but this is not how I would typically look at this. Let's go to the recap chart. That'll work. Yeah, we haven't. I've got plenty of time. Let's do some trade plans. Hit me with some ticker requests, and we'll take a look at you for Bear Bull. Those of you watching on YouTube, there is a chat available on YouTube. Guys, fire off some tickers in there. Say good morning. Say what's up. Don't be shy. All right, let's take. So we're trying to see if there's a like, what is the sweetheart? We'd be crazy not to take it because I do not really like the idea of buying Tesla right now. Where would that level be? Again, I'm kind of gravitating toward this 206.43 level because I think it has a couple of advantages. One, it's a really good support resistance level. We've seen some key bounces and rejections build up off that level. For example, here, big bounce. Here, nice rejection. Here, nice rejection. So it does look like a good, dropping hard. It tried to hold there, but it did break down, and then it back tested and rejected. But yeah, so somewhere around this 206.43. But the other thing I like about it is there's also pretty clear that I could see on the chart area where you say, okay, enough's enough. I'm tired. Unless you're just willing to buy and potentially, bag hold dollar cost average for the foreseeable future. I would put my stop on that 206.43 entry somewhere around 182.72. And again, that's really more long calls June, July 300. So I don't, yeah, here's the other problems with what your kind of how your questions pose there, K Money. One, we're kind of putting a timeline on it before we know when we're even getting into the trade. So if you're asking when would I get in for a Tesla trade with approximately 3 months, like 90 days of time, that's probably a better way to ask that question because it might be June before we see the entry level hit, right? So I think kind of predetermining the expiration, I want to caveat what I'm sharing with you here with I wouldn't necessarily use that predetermined expiration. I also don't necessarily love going that far out of the money. I mean, you're essentially looking for a 50% move in 90 days based on where we're looking at taking an entry, right? So, those are all things that you need to don't get too locked into what your strike and what your expiration is going to be until you're actually getting into the trade. I guess that's the ultimate point I'm trying to make here. I'm not saying you are, but it's just kind of the way the question was asked. So, yeah, so I would definitely wait and see if that entry sets up. I also wouldn't necessarily be like slamming the buy button as soon as 206.43 hits. I'd want to see some signs that it's going to hold even better. The best possible sign for getting in right there. Yeah, put credit spread. I like that idea, new trader. Great idea, actually. Selling a put credit spread would be a good idea. If you're going to buy, if you want to get into Tesla for some longer term exposure, I like it as a buy the dip on shares level. You know, there's going to be a lot of factors at play if and when Tesla hits 206.43, because the other thing that I would want to be paying attention to, and I would be a little bit concerned about, is how hot is VIX running at that point in time. Because if VIX continues to get super elevated, as the price does recover in benefit of a call option trade, VIX is going to drop. And so as VIX drops, that is actually going to hurt your contracts a little bit. Now, VIX hasn't made some crazy parabolic move to the upside like we saw last August. But just pay attention to that, right? It's something that I think a lot of people don't ever think about. It's a little bit of kind of like the next level of timing your options entries better, is paying attention to where VIX is at and just making sure that you're not necessarily buying with a super elevated VIX, at least buying calls with a super elevated VIX. And the reason why I say that again is because when those call contracts move in your favor, VIX is going to drop. That is going to inherently diminish the premiums in your contracts a little bit. But if the pushback to the upside is moving fast enough, it won't matter, right? You're still going to pay out. But if you wind up in a super elevated VIX scenario where VIX can drop rapidly, then your upside momentum moving in favor of your calls needs to move faster than VIX is dropping, essentially, right? So for the most part, that's not a major issue, but in bearish markets or when VIX has like big, like quick spikes, it can be a factor that you want to pay attention to. So 25 and above, yeah, pay attention, but also I think pay attention to the fact that VIX is elevated. But I would also say pay attention, or if you see VIX over 25, kind of take a quick look at the VIX chart and just see like how it got there, right? Like how quickly was that move to the upside, and was it pretty recent, or has it started to kind of taper off and equalize again? You know, anyway, some things to think about as we get into these trades. All right, so let's get into some new trade plans. I'm sorry if I got a little bit sidetracked there on the whole VIX and, you know, kind of not having your gosh, I don't want to say that the wrong way. I was going to say not having your plan overly specific. I think having a specific plan is good, but not having your contract strikes and expirations totally figured out until you know you're getting into the trade. And then, you know, have some general rules to follow, right? Make sure that you're not going ridiculously far out of the money. Make sure that you're giving yourself more time than you think you'll ever need. Those are kind of my two very quick, easy, anybody can pick up and understand. You know, okay, if I don't do those two things, I'm at least not getting into a trade and putting myself behind the eight ball when trading's already hard enough as it is. So, let's take a look at you for Bear Bull, and then if you all have any other ticker requests, start dropping those in the chats, folks. Let's go. We've got about 20-ish minutes left here. Let's get to work. All right, let's get this chart squared away. This is my playbook. I swear I thought I had done trade plans on Unity before, but I don't see any levels. That's bizarre. Okay, well, that's all right. Let's figure it out. Fresh eyes. It's always a good thing. Right, Unity. It's definitely, yeah, I was going to say had some major pullbacks. This could be a good bottom picker here, Bear Bull. I like where your head's at, possibly. Let's see what the trade plan tells us, though. Let's see what the support and resistance tells us. Then we'll work on a trade plan. There is a little level right here. Get that. This is an interesting level. There's lots and lots of support. Really good bounces off this. It's a little bit of this could be more of like a daily level. Let's get too far ahead of ourselves. Interesting rejections around here, but does that mean anything? It does. There is a good weekly level there. Yeah, this one is more support, consolidated, higher resistance. There's something here. Yeah, it's right there. Interestingly, the more recent moves haven't really focused on this level, but there is a good one there. And I'm definitely getting into a range where we are not going to need levels that high. So let's move on. Is there anything in here? My only other question. Yeah, I don't see anything. Let's also flag cash session all-time low. Be good to know. 1385. Okay. So let's take a look at this. Get some pre-market action in the mix. Can we nail down this placeholder level? I think we can. No, we can. It's just a matter of, do I want to make any slight adjustments to it now that I can see a little bit more of this price action? The answer's, could it be just a tad higher? Nah, I like it right where it was. We're pretty bang on that one already. All right, that's a good daily level there. On keeping on. That's an interesting one. Big rejection for that to just be random. It's not random. There is a pretty good daily level there. I mean, potential for it to be random, always vet it out, verify if you've got a good level and it's not just sort of a one-off reaction to something. But yeah, anytime you see big bounces and big rejections, start hunting in that neck of the woods for your support and resistance levels. Typically get you at least close. Sometimes it'll get you just spot on it. Yeah, I thought I'd done you recently, Navy Plum. I must have done it in a different layout or something. I don't know. It's very weird that I just had no levels when we came into this chart. But all right, so we got our daily and weekly levels. Let's fast forward to the hourly chart. Let's throw our indicators on. Whoops, throw our indicators on. No, that's not the right indicators anyway. There we go. All right, so that's an interesting. I'm gonna add that to my. Sorry, just when I see these little, I've seen some. Although this did try to react down there, but I don't know. I'm trying to really hone in this kind of volatility filter that I've put in place with NTS. So this is kind of an interesting. Maybe I can add some additional filtering for extended hours levels. I don't know how doable that is in PineScript, but I'll take a look at that. And that was March 5th. Sorry. Just want to check some of these and see. I mean, again, this indicate no indicator is ever going to be perfect, but I want it to be as close to perfect as possible, and I feel like that flag should have held there. But I'll take a look at it. All right, so let's figure out how we want to trade UNITY. Anybody know what female rap artist? I'm gonna turn this into a trivia session. What female rap artist sang the song Unity, where the hook was spelled out the word UNITY? Bonus points for whoever knows the answer. No Googling. Don't cheat. There's no prizes here, so be honest. Do you know it or do you not? Okay. I rocking that as a... Let's fix these colors too. K Money might have it. I'm dating myself. Can't think of her name. The answer is Queen Latifah. We were looking for Queen Latifah. For fuck's sake, yeah. Sorry, I've got I'm an old head with a brain full of trivial knowledge. And as soon as we started talking about Unity, for some reason that chorus jumped into my brain, and I will not insult you all by karaokeing Queen Latifah song. Yep, that's the one. I know you can hear it. It's going to be stuck in your head the rest of the day now. It's an earworm. Sorry, my bad. My apologies if you're walking around humming Unity by Queen Latifah later today. All right. Is this weekly level just a little bit 11 cents? I'm going to move it off to catch that rejection. Don't just move things arbitrarily, but when we're on the weekly chart, we don't have extended hours data and we're way zoomed out. So an 11-cent move to catch that reject or that bounce accurately, I'm okay with making that small adjustment. 1888. So I like those as PT1 and 2. And I like where our stop loss is. Question now is, where's PT3 gonna be? Yeah, right about here. Thereabouts. All right, so that's the downside plan sorted. This is an interesting, really interesting flip of support and resistance. We could give it a little bit more room, actually, right up to here. Gives us a little bit of a better confirmation there. Right below this weekly level, that kind of gives me a little bit of pause. But I'm seeing a good range above that level that I think we can utilize. Right about here is where I'd be looking for a... That's a man, Chappelle show. I miss that so much. I wish, you know, now that he's kind of been back from his self-imposed sequestration or whatever you want to call it. I'd love to see him bring the Chappelle show back. I love it when he brings the characters back when he's doing like SNL or something like that. But yeah, that was one of the funniest shows of all times. I mean, like, what is it? Maybe 3 seasons they had of it or something. And I mean, there's still, I probably quote half the episodes still to this day. All right, we've got our Unity trade plan set up here. You got to let them know. I mean, a bitch or a hoe. For those of you who know the song. Geek Lord's in here like, oh, he went there. All right. And 25.52, stop loss average down, 21.72, 20.79, 19.72, 18.88, 18 flat, 21.72. Shared stop loss. All right, so, and so I don't forget, let's do our, this is when our trade plan was done. All right, so let's get this rolling. Sorry this took a minute, but hopefully it will have been worth the wait. Man, y'all are real quiet on YouTube today. See people in the audience. Nobody's saying good morning. Nobody's laughing at my Queen Latifah references. I get it. People maybe just sleepy morning. I don't know. All right, so what are we looking at here on UNITY? We are looking for a break over 22.46 that should give us targets at 23.62, 24.28, and 25.52 with a stop loss average down at 21.72. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 20.79 that should give us targets at 19.72, 18.88, and 18 flat with a shared stop loss average down there at 21.72. Let's lock this in. Oy, 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 where are we gonna put it? That's the question. Indicator template. Save. Let's put this in the member selected tickers for this week are almost done. A lot of those plans have played out. I know the Tesla plan has played out, so let's put this in Tesla's. I don't want to screw that up though. You know what? We're just gonna do new indicator template. Live stream Thursdays. 01. Why not? Remember symbol. Save. All right, that'll work. All right, so we're locked in there. Oh yeah, let me also get our alerts set up. My bad. Copy message link. Let's take this to regular trading hours. 30-minute. This should give us better, less noisy signals. Setting this on our trade plan pilot. Any alert, we'll let this run till next Thursday. Close. This is you trade live stream 3:13. 30 minutes. Create. Cool. All right, we're good to go. Keep your eyes on the chats for alerts on our Unity trade plan. All right, what else do we have to work on this morning? Come on, y'all, hit me with another ticker request. We've got TQQ, triple Qs. That's an interesting request. I kind of like it. Could be a good shares trade. 60.83 is where it's currently at. I have charted this a long time ago, apparently. Not that those levels aren't good, but they're not going to be useful anytime soon. So we'll just go ahead and clean those up real quick. Let's figure out where TQQ's at. So we've talked about this, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about it again. We've talked about this in the past with regards to these leveraged ETFs. Make sure that you are being mindful of these when you are loading shares because they are leveraged. They do have some decay factor built into them the same way that options do because they use options to gain their leverage. The other thing that they all have is management fees that are kind of deducted from the share price essentially. So, you know, just make sure that you're keeping an eye on that and you're not getting into these leveraged ETF trades for too extended a period of time. It's probably the best way for me to say that. All right, so I know I just mentioned this the other day, and somebody's like, man, it would have been nice to have known that months ago. And it was like, I've been saying it for months, bro. Like, what the fuck? I've been saying it about that ticker specifically, talking about TSLO. So, anyway, yeah, these are not one. They're great to trade. Make sure you have a good plan in place. Do not get caught bag holding leveraged ETF stocks because you can essentially put yourself in a position to where, you know, it will take forever to recover and essentially you've got all that money tied up in something that's not going anywhere anytime soon. So just be mindful, be cautious. That's all I'm going to say. Not telling anybody how to live their life, just trying to protect those accounts. Let's check this out on the 24-hour. Which two groups released songs at the same time about jumping? Criss Cross and House of Pain. Am I right? JP? I'm good, brother. I told you I gotta. Oh God, which year? I'm not good at chronology. I'll be very honest about that. What year? I would guess, and I really do not know the answer to this, but I would guess. Um, can I use it? Give me a little bit of leeway. 92 to 94, somewhere in that range. Wow, I'm not good with chronology. I can't believe I got that right. Yeah, I'm good with like like yeah, I don't know why like putting things in like timeline order or remembering like what year something happened. I do kind of suck at that. But I proved myself wrong on that one, I guess. But yeah, I told you, brain full of useless trivia. It's like things just stick in my brain. I've got a sticky brain, which can be helpful. That's for sure. That was a good question though. I like that. Good setup. Oh, dude, I love playing Jeopardy at home. And there are times where I know answers to things that are like, to me, it's the most wild ass guess, and it's right. And I don't know. It's almost like I got a little mini Google in my brain somewhere that like, you know, if it's almost like if the question wasn't asked the right way, I would never like I wouldn't be able to spit that fact to you. But you asked me the right question with like just enough detail, and I might get it right. And it could be something like classical, pianists or something like that, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's Bach, of course. And it's a total random ass guess, but it winds up being right. Then there's some where I actually know, like that Crisscross House of Pain. Clearly, I knew that one. Crisscross, man, that takes me back. I'm sure. I have no doubt in my mind. I don't know if I ever rocked this look to school, but I have no doubt that at some point, at least around the house, I probably wore my pants backwards. I would bet. I would bet money on that. I don't think I was ever daring enough, like I said, to wear that look to school. So I wasn't like proud of it, but I was a big Crisscross fan back in the day. I knew a lot of their. I used to be able to, I guess rap along, sing along with a lot of their songs when I was a kid. And everybody loves a little House of Pain. Lead singer went on to become Everlast. What's his name? Forget his actual name. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I've stumped myself with that follow up question. Y'all laughing at me wearing my pants backwards? I guarantee it happened. 100%. I have no doubt. Oh yeah, I was born in '82. Product of the '80s. '80s babies. We the best. I grew up playing outside and with computers. It's like a very weird. Oops, I almost went old school there. Dude, '80s, yeah, late '70s, early '80s, even early '90s. There's still good music coming out. It's just not there's so much. The problem is it's so easy to release music. Now I'm gonna get into a whole different soapbox all of a sudden here, but it's so easy to release music now and get views or clicks or eyeballs or whatever you need. Um, that oh shit, we gotta wrap this up. For some reason, my PC battery is oh shit. I think when my docking station went down, it totally jacked up my charger. All right, so we're gonna wrap this up like super quick. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, it's like, it's just so easy to release stuff now that I think there's so much crap that comes out, and some of it becomes popular for whatever reason, that the good shit just gets kind of buried. So there's still good stuff coming out, but I'll tell you what, I still, yeah, something about the classics. All right, let's go. Let's talk through this real quick before my computer dies. My bad, folks. I just realized that that was happening. So what are we looking for here on TQQQ? We're looking for a break above. Oh, wait a second. I screwed something up here. 1691, 1691. You shared. What do well, oh, crap. I think I looked at the pre-market price, not the level. Or no, that should be 6207, shouldn't it? Sorry, my bad. Yeah, there we go. Just looking at the pre-market price and not our level there on the price axis. Okay, so let's share this. Oh, look at that. Perfect confluence. All right, copy link. Let me get all this done before we run out of battery. This is our TQQQ live stream plan. Yeah, I gotta figure out why my docking station is working for everything but charging right now, so that's great. I'll figure that out in a second. All right, delete. All right, so what are we looking for here on TQQQ? We're looking for a break over 66.26 that should give us targets at 73.12, 80.32, and 88.92 with a stop loss average down at 62.07. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 57.56 that should give us targets at 49.06, 44.87, and 39.57. Those are your TQQQ live stream plans. Let me copy this message link. Let's set up these alerts real quick. Regular trading hours, trade plan pilot, any alert. Yeah, down to 9% battery all of a sudden. I was like, oh shit. 1600. Let's go. TQ live stream 313. Oh shit. I just realized what I forgot to do. I forgot to post the Discord link. There we go. Now I can create this. Cool. Wait, what's that? Shit. Computer went into hibernate mode. Now I'm working off of just the laptop for a second here. I took the charger and just plugged it straight in. Sorry about that. Let's see if I'm still. I'm not in the cancel podcasting here, am I? Oh, all right. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, computer went into hibernate mode. I stole the power supply directly from the docking station and plugged it straight into my computer. So sorry about that, folks. But yeah, PC went into hibernate mode there all of a sudden. Well, no, man, I love this Legion that I just got. It's awesome. I got this Legion Pro 7. Well, we maybe talked about that trading dad, but this thing is freaking sweet. But no, I think it's not the laptop. It's the damn docking station. And of course, I've got like everything in the world running off this thing, including this massive NVIDIA GPU that it's got. And we've been doing a, hour long almost live stream with no no power going to the laptop, and I didn't even realize it. So Yeah, that was just a docking station glitch that I got to figure out why it did that. But anyway, my apologies for that. It was a great little chat. Yeah, I was like, shit. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. I do appreciate it. My apologies for the brief little technical difficulty that we had there. But anyway, we should be... Oh, wait, let me finish setting this alert. Sorry, I just realized that that was still waiting now that we got our Discord thing in there. What is this? TQQQ live stream. Man, yeah, sorry about that. I did not even realize I was not charging until it was like, hey, low battery, and then at that point I'm stuck. It was draining rapidly. Oops, window capture. Not that it matters at this point, folks on YouTube, but all right, so with that being said, I want to thank you all. Unknown Reviews. Hey, what's up? Good morning, Unknown Reviews. Hope you're doing well as well, my friend. All right, so I got to go ahead and get to work on the spy plan, get my laptop charged up, all that good stuff. I did enjoy the little bit of banter, showing my age, talking some trivia. We can always keep that in the mix if you guys want to hit me with some more tough ones in the future. Go ahead and put some questions together. Feel free to ask those if you don't have any trade related questions or any trade plan requests. So with that being said, you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of your week. Be safe out there. Market is still going to be hectic for the foreseeable future. We'll keep an eye on everything and try to tell y'all when it's a good time to start shifting back into risk on. I don't think we're there yet personally, but we'll keep an eye on it. So with that being said, as we always say here on the FOMO live stream, plan your trades, trade your plans, go out there, get some green, come back next Tuesday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I promise to have my laptop good and charged, and be ready to go by then. All right, with that, I'm going to go get the spy plan put together and put in the options watch list for you all in our Discord. So keep your eyes out for that and have a fantastic day. I will see you all next Tuesday. Take care.